heti oikein 3 minuutin pidät kuupasen 5, tosi ahda. Ehkä.
Welcome to Rally Portugal, round 6 of the World Rally Championship. A rally not for the faint-hearted.
It's tricky.
It will not be easy rally, that's for sure.
Coming up in the show, what a difference a year makes. This time last year, Jari-Matti Latvala was cartwheeling down a hill, and now a year later, he's just won in New Zealand. He may have gone from zero to hero, but on the flip side, what's happened to his teammate? We investigate. As we just heard, unseen crests are a main characteristic here. How can a co-driver give the driver the confidence to push to the max, knowing there are hidden dangers around every corner? And it's not just the stages where the fans can have fun, the service park is full of stuff to do. And of course, all the thrills, drama and action from the Rally Portugal. Last time out in New Zealand, the 2010 championship really bared its teeth with a four-way fight to the bitter end. It was one of the closest fights for victories the championship has seen in years. First, the world champion slipped up with this uncharacteristic mistake. Then Sebastian Loeb staged the best comeback of his career, taking back a minute and a half in one day alone. Only to throw away the win with another mistake on the final day.
I think I was very fast, maybe a bit too much, but I was pushing very hard, trying to take every risk to try to win the rally, and it cannot go perfectly every time, so it happens.
His junior teammate Sebastian Ogier, meanwhile, was the shining star of the event. Despite running first on the road, he led from the start of day 2, but just 3 corners from the end.
It was big frustrating at the moment to lose this victory 3 corners before the end, but for us the most important is that now we are able on a lot of rally to fight with the best guys.
The resurgence of Petter Solberg continues. He too could have won, but the final New Zealand stage had different ideas.
Okay.
It's over. I'm here for winning, and after what happened in New Zealand on the last stage, you know, okay, that's how it is. I'm on the pace, I'm in the top, and with the private team, I'm very happy, and I can't ask for more.
And that left Jari-Matti Latvala waiting in the wings. Despite no stage victories, he won the rally by consistent driving and ended a year-long dry spell. But it's back to the other side of the world for round 6. The Vodafone Rally de Portugal, based on the Algarve coast in the south of the country. The 18 stages run to the north of the city of Faro. Stage distance this weekend totals 355 kilometres. It was up in the city of Porto, though, where the Portuguese fans got their first taste of WRC action. Tens of thousands turned up to see the stars of the World Rally Championship blast through the city streets on the Sunday before the rally. An estimated 40,000 people turned up to watch the spectacular roadshow in the historic streets of the wine capital. The one-hour show was designed as a demonstration run rather than a competition, with drivers encouraged to do donuts and get as sideways as possible, which they were more than happy to do. The busy build-up to the event also included an opportunity to photograph the class of 2010, with the full driver lineup all competing together for the first time this season. And the 12 crews also took the time to meet some of the passionate Portuguese spectators, an autograph session allowing the fans to get up close and personal to their WRC idols. Another rally fan was a bit more recognisable than the rest of the crowd. Portuguese football legend Paulo Sousa sitting alongside Khaled Al-Qasimi for a taste of World Rally power at the pre-event shakedown.
Very nice.
it's not fun.
Plenty of adrenaline this one, huh? It's unbelievable.
But the action began in the stunning Algarve Stadium with 20,000 people turning out to watch the WRC's finest attacking the impressive tarmac circuit. Returning superstars Kimi Räikkönen and Ken Block certainly didn't disappoint, the duo setting an identical time through the stage. And head-to-head with Sebastian Loeb, the eventual stage winner was Mikko Hirvonen, flying the Portuguese colours. This is how day one will look. The longest stage of the day is Santa Clara, which is a mix of all the typical Portuguese conditions, fast-flowing sections and tighter winding areas littered with these famous blind crests. All three stages are repeated in the afternoon. Dry, sunny conditions to get us back underway, and as has been the case all season, it's championship leader Sebastian Loeb who's first into action. A short tarmac section at the start, and then in these dry conditions, road sweeping on the gravel will be a big issue for the world champion. It's going to be a damage limitation exercise on this opening day of the rally for Sebastian. Jari-Matti Latvala is second on the road after his dramatic victory in New Zealand. With all drivers concerned about tyre wear this morning, the Ford drivers have opted to carry 2 spare tyres, but the extra 25 kilos means the Focus is not as agile as it should be. May not have been the right call. A good example of the blind crest for which Portugal has become renowned here. You can see how essential it is to listen 100% to the notes. Jari-Matti Latvala totally reliant on Mikko Rantala's words to ensure he has the car in the right position over these crests. The pressure on Latvala's teammate Mikko Hirvonen is intensifying with every passing rally meanwhile. It's a solid start of the day though for Mikko as he seeks to take a small advantage of his slightly clearer line. While Mikko seems to have lost his edge in recent rallies, Sébastien Ogier is riding high after a string of impressive displays. The 27-year-old was another to crash out in Portugal last year, but on current form will be one to watch through these technical gravel roads and will have more grip running fourth on the road. Fastest early on though is Dani Sordo. The Spaniard is also benefiting from running further down the field for sure, but as another driver under pressure after a disappointing start to the season, he needs to turn this to his advantage. This graph gives you a visual idea of how clearly road position is affecting the pace of the front runners. The drivers starting further down the field benefiting greatly from their superior grip, with Sordo starting 6th, already storming into the rally lead, while teammate Loeb is back in 5th. There's time between the stages for Sordo to work out the best combination of tyres for the final stage. With tyre wear already an issue and only one spare, Dani is swapping his wheels around to regulate the tyre wear. Back in the stages, and Petter Solberg's also having another strong opening day with his good grip running 5th on the road. He's driving with a damaged steering arm after a small moment in the Super Special the previous evening. Also survived a slow puncture in stage 3 and an overshoot there for the world champion. Just overcooked it slightly under the bridge. It didn't cost him too much time, but Petter does slip to 4th. Up at the front, meanwhile, the pressure is building on Dani Sordo. An interesting battle developing between Citroen's 2 young stars here. As earlier, tyre reshuffle hasn't quite paid off. The Spaniard suffering with serious tyre wear in stage 4. It could provide an opportunity for Sébastien Ogier.
For this afternoon, is it going to be 1 spare or 2?
I will make two spare tires. The best
The best solution is 4 spare tires, but I don't have where.
And back in the stage, Ogier is attacking hard. He's fastest through the final stage of the morning and passes Sordo to take over the rally lead. So Ogier now leads the way with Sordo slipping to second. Road sweeping Loeb is down in fifth, and the man behind him on the road, Latvala, is sixth. And the drivers are already thinking about their road positions for tomorrow.
I will not make up anything today. I don't want to, because I'm actually there in the position where I want to be. Maybe get Loeb just in front of me. So for me, it's a perfect position.
Still to come, we learn how the drivers focus completely on their pace notes.
When I listen to PS, when we see the other language, I have, okay, yeah, it's, something happened.
And after his New Zealand win, are we seeing a new Jari-Matti Latvala this year? What's happened to his teammates? And all the drama of day one's afternoon stages. Welcome back to the Vodafone Rally de Portugal, where behind the fight at the front, the action has been no less intense. Former F1 champion Kimi Raikkonen is back after skipping Rally New Zealand. Challenging blind crests will really test his pace notes. It's an understandably cautious start for the Finn. Even so, Kimi has still had an occasional moment. Coming very close to leaving the road there. Looking at it again, it's another incident where he was unsighted over the crest, proving just how crucial pace notes are to set the car up for the following corner. After early retirement in his opening 2 outings in a World Rally car, Ken Block is again struggling in Portugal.
50. No, right 2.
An early mistake from the American, his co-driver pointing out he should have gone right and not left, but there's worse to come on the following stage.
It's just a matter of experience with pace notes for me. I just had a slightly incorrect note, and we came into a tighter corner just a little too quick and slid wide. So it's something for me that's just a bit of, lack of experience. So it's something I'm working on very hard, but my notes just weren't perfect, and I paid for it.
And it's not just the big boys having to come to terms with these Portuguese stages. This is JWRC driver Harry Hunt in stage 2. As we've just seen here in Portugal, with so many blind crests and hidden dangers, it's imperative to have an accurate set of notes, and more importantly, you have to listen to them. You or I would switch off, start relying on our eyes to spot dangers. Rally drivers have to look, listen, and pay attention to the notes.
When you have corner after corner, the pace notes come very quickly, so it's more hard to listen.
In some rallies you might survive without the pace notes, but there's no way you could be competitive against a driver who's going with the notes.
You could never go in 6th gear in a corner because you never know what it is behind. For sure you would crash because or you would be very slow.
Once you relax and you think, well, I know this piece of road, this is the bit that goes really flat out down here, you're finished. You have to take it from the notes, even if you've been down there for the last 5 or 6 years, you still take it from the notes.
Where do you think this road goes? The only way a driver knows for certain and has the confidence to drive that corner is by listening to his notes. Miss just one, and this will happen. So, how do the crews ensure at crucial moments that the driver is paying full attention?
I try to stress the words so that he really understands that there is a very slow place coming and he needs to brake much earlier than when he sees the corner itself.
We read it very is it monotonic, like same voice all the time. He doesn't see the differences, so it's our job to do this is easy, this is easy, this is bad. So for him to wake up.
If he hears caution in the pace notes, it's like start getting down the gearbox, start braking hard, get the speed out of the car, because it is bad, we don't use it very often.
Maybe once or twice in a rally I use the word remember. When I hear that word, I remember straight away the place what's coming.
Sometimes if it's really tricky, you say it's piège. Piège is a trick in France.
Piège. Piège. Piège is attention in French. So when I listen piège, when you say the other language, I have, okay, yeah, it's, something happened, you know.
I have the easy part. I have the book from where to read, but he needs to drive the car and listen to me, and more importantly, understand what I'm saying. So it's a tough job for them.
Left minus of a crest, tightens.
It's an almost superhuman endeavour. Just check it out for yourself.
Two left, tightens 1.5 long, 50. Line into 2 right, tightens 1, keep in of a crest. To 5 left, 6 right of a crest, tightens neat. To 5 left half long, 6 right of a crest, tightens neat, 5 left half long, 6 right of a crest, opens half long, tightens dunker, 2 minus tightens, opens half long, and 2 left, tightens 1 plus.
Back to the action and what is set to be an interesting final pair of stages with road order positions for day 2 about to be decided. With the temperatures continuing to rise, tyre wear is becoming a big issue this afternoon. The Fords especially are really suffering. Kievanen pushed too hard in stage 5, forcing him to back off afterwards, while it's been a strangely subdued performance from his teammate Latvala. The Finn's tyres are destroyed at the end of the day, and he's begun to slip adrift in 6th. Matthew Wilson is involved in a fight for position, with his teammate Henning Solberg for 7th place. A very scary moment there for the British driver in stage 8. The Ford's having a tough time, but it's been a good day for Citroën so far. Having already slipped to over 42 seconds behind the leader, Sebastian Loeb puts in a late charge to ensure he doesn't have too much ground to make up on the drivers fighting at the front. Danny Sordo comes into the final stage just 8.5 seconds behind the leader, Ogier.
Muy lenta furgoneta, salida estrecho, muy lenta.
But a mistake there from the Spaniard. A nearby spectator filmed Sordo's off. A strange incident. He had plenty of time to brake, but he just ploughed straight on into the wall. It seems to take an age to get the car back in the right direction. He's lost over 18 seconds to the leader, Ogier, there. Maybe Sordo can explain that incident at the end of the stage.
What happened? I don't know what did braking for the hairpin. I brake and the engine's continuing to push him, so the car is not braking, and I had really good luck, but because I went off a little bit. I arrived at the end, so I am happy.
With Sordo's detour, Sebastian Ogier could end up with a big lead here. And as was the case in New Zealand, there are no tactics from Ogier. He keeps his foot down, and it's the Frenchman who'll lead from the front on the second day.
150 mètres, frein avant droite 133 plus tard.
Petter Solberg, as a private entry, is free to decide his tactics without the concern of team politics.
Opens over crest 150.
Well, that was a hard hit there, and it sounds like Petter's got a puncture.
Keep in over crest. Right, slow it up and keep. We're going to have to drop time anyway. 6 right long.
Oh, well, it sounds like they want to lose time here anyway to push him down the running order for tomorrow. Phil Mills keeping an eye on the time. If they go over that target, they'll drop behind Kievanen on the leaderboard.
And okay, go. Okay.
Yes, Petter drops from 3rd to 5th. He's now 3 behind Kievanen and 50 behind the leader. But he was fortunate that puncture occurred so close to the end of the stage. Just take a look at the right rear tyre here. And here you can see why Petter wants that lower road position. This is before the final stage reshuffle. You can see that despite Loeb's incident-free day, the road sweeping has left him back in 5th. Sordo, meanwhile, with the far superior road position, despite his problems, manages to finish the day an impressive 2nd. And this is how they finish after Loeb's final stage push and Petter pulling tactics. Sordo's mistake leaves him almost half a minute behind Ogier, but after that tactical shake-up, Citroën's young guns will have Loeb, Kievanen and Petter Solberg chasing them hard on day 2. It's back to the service park alongside the impressive Algarve Stadium next, where there's plenty to keep the rally fans occupied in the sunshine. And when the crews arrive, as ever in the WRC, the spectators are given the chance to meet their heroes.
I would prefer to be 5th, but Solberg and Kievanen went behind now, so we are 3rd and we will see.
Yeah, I'm really disappointed, but
I'm happy at the other side because I had a little bit luck, for one time. The day at the end was not bad. I will try to continue like that tomorrow. Maybe it's a little bit more difficult because second in the road was more difficult, but we'll see.
Yeah, it was a very good day, almost perfect, because we did 5 scratch, so it was a very good day. I tried to push from the first stage until the last one, so to try to make a gap, and I'm happy with the gap we made today. I think it is difficult to make more.
Still to come, we speak to the Ford boys about their contrasting fortunes over the last year.
So I understand better the bigger picture and about the team. So maybe I was last year thinking about too much about myself.
And we bring you all the best action from the second day in Portugal. See you in a few minutes. Welcome back. Rally Portugal is based in the Algarve holiday region on the south coast. The area is famous for its fish, its beaches, and its golf courses. Rally headquarters is based in Vila Moura, a stunning town that also boasts the area's largest marina. Here in Portugal last year, Jari-Matti Latvala had the biggest crash of his career. A series of calamitous mistakes followed, leaving team boss Malcolm Wilson furious, questioning Jari-Matti's mental strength.
I understand really if they don't want me to carry on with the team. I really understand it.
Ford think they've identified why these mistakes happened and developed a plan to eradicate them.
We really needed to find a way to take some pressure off Jari this year. And by doing what we've done, saying that Mikko's the number 1, Jari's the number 2, then for sure that's the real positive that's worked for us.
A win in Sweden this year appeared to signal Mikko Hirvonen was on the same form that took Loeb to the wire last season, but since then he's made uncharacteristic mistakes. How has this affected his psychological approach?
If you think of last year, I wasn't really thinking about winning all the time. I just went out there and I had a really good time in the car, enjoyed it. And went flat out basically, and now I've been thinking of the win all the time and really kind of telling myself that I have to win if I want to take the title, and maybe building more pressure to myself with that. So maybe it just doesn't work with me, and thinking it too much, I'm started to make mistakes as well. So maybe it's not the way I need to drive.
Here's what the Ford boys have coming up on day 2. There are 3 stages run twice. Almodovar is 26.2 kilometres of rough and tough gravel, which varies from open, fast sections to tighter technical areas as it climbs and descends through the valleys. Dry, sunny conditions again for the second day, and as he did in New Zealand, it's Citroen's new star, Sébastien Ogier, who will get the rally restarted on day 2. Oster stalling there in his eagerness to get away. It's a fast-flowing start here for the Frenchman. This stretch of road is full of rhythm changes, though, so he'll need to maintain his concentration and focus, especially as he has Sébastien Loeb 2 places behind him. The gap between them only 44 seconds. Look how much dust and gravel thrown up behind the car there. Following Ogier into the stage is Danny Sordo. He has a charging Loeb behind him, but he's looking a bit ragged in the last few kilometres of the opening stage. He's lost confidence in his pace notes and loses a few seconds to the rally leader. Further proof how complete confidence in pace notes is essential on technical rallies like this.
I didn't understand the pace note. It's many things and not many corners, so a lot of grass, really narrow with a lot of trees. So I feel at the end of the stage I didn't understand the pace note.
Third on the road, and with the better road position, Sébastien Loeb will have more grip than the leading pair. And after his incredible fight back in New Zealand, the Frenchman is again building up a Saturday morning charge. Let's see the leaders progress as we approach the 14.1 kilometre split time. You can see Ogier was the slowest of the top 5. It's Loeb who was quickest at that point, and he's on course to take a big bite out of the leader's advantage. 8.5 seconds up after 14.1 kilometres. It's looking like an impressive start to the day for the world champion. And by the end of the stage, he's clawed back 8.4 on Ogier. Loeb's momentum continues. He makes up a further 11.1 on his compatriot in the following stage and takes second from Sordo in the process.
That was a good stage. Pushing really hard. You know, Ogier has a big gap, so I have really to go on the limit to try to catch him, so that's what I try.
After a number of podium finishes this season, Petter Solberg's next target is a win. He's not making major inroads into the leading Citroens yet, but he passes Hirvonen for fourth place to close slightly on the podium positions. Veli-Matti Latvala starts the day well on the opening stage and is looking to make up more ground on the front runners as we joined him here at the start of stage 9. Oh, massive impact at the back of the car. Let's take another look from his rear-facing camera. You can see the spin sends him careering backwards towards another tree. Well, from the highs of his New Zealand win, Latvala has come down to earth with a bump, and that's more frustration for Ford.
It's not a mistake with the notes. It's just a bit too fast in the first corner. That's the thing. I was braking a little bit for it, but not enough, and then it was slightly wide, and then it caused me an error in the next one. 50 meters later, it hit the tree backwards.
Yeah, the only tree in the place as well.
Yeah, it's a very unlucky situation. If you look, it's open and it's only one tree, and of course it hit that.
It's left for Mikko Hirvonen to fly the flag for Ford then, and running fourth on the road, he'll hope his superior grip will give him the chance to close up on the leaders. You can see how hard Mikko is working from his onboard telemetry here. He's in one of the more technical, narrow sections. Very bumpy as well here. He's pushing hard, but is still slipping further adrift in fifth. Oh, and a massive kicker from the water splash there. Back with Loeb as he seeks to make further inroads into the rally leader's advantage. Well, only 2.4 seconds gained in stage 10, but over the course of the morning, he's taken just under 22 off Ogier. That's half the gap to the leader. Plenty going on at the front then. Further back, meanwhile, Henning Solberg's now running in 6th following Latvala's crash, despite a fuel pump problem costing a bit of time. Henning's managed to extend his advantage over his Stobart Ford teammate Matt Wilson after the British driver suffered brake problems in the morning loop.
Right 4 minus.
And BP Ford's Khaled Al-Qasimi has been rebuilding his confidence in his first rally in a World Rally car since Sweden in February. The Abu Dhabi-based driver is currently 11th. With Latvala out of action, all the back markers have had a boost up the standings, while out front, Ogier still leads the way. Loeb's now his closest challenger, just under 23 seconds behind. Sordo is half a second behind his teammate, while Hirvonen is the leading Ford in 5th. It's back to the service park alongside the impressive Algarve Stadium next, where the fans are enjoying Portugal's lively rally village. The driver's taking the time to sign a few autographs, but it's not long before thoughts are focused on the afternoon's targets.
Another great morning compared to our road position. I think we did some good times, and now the gap is less and less big than compared to Seb, but I knew that before to start this morning, and I just have to try to continue to drive fast and just see what happens.
We'll see in the afternoon how it goes. I think it will be very hard for the tires in the afternoon, so I don't know if you will be able to push, but in the morning it was okay.
Ogier's been doing pretty well first on the road. He hasn't lost that much time.
No, I think we are driving quite nearly in the same rhythm. He took me 23 seconds yesterday morning. I took him 23 this morning, and he was fourth, I was third on the road, so no big difference. He's driving very well.
I can't go much faster. I really tried like hell in the last stage, but definitely if I try any harder, I'm going to go off the road. So the long stage, the second stage, I just wasn't consistent there with my driving, and especially on a big fast road, I didn't feel so confident. But You know, it's calf is great. It's just doesn't go. I just can't do any better times.
So, can Loeb continue his forward momentum into the afternoon loop? With the sun still beating down, it's back to the hills above Faro. In these warm conditions, Ogier will need to think about tyre preservation as well as the chasing Loeb. The Frenchman has a tough job on his hands this afternoon. Loeb's already halved his lead this morning, and you can be sure the world champion will keep the pressure on to the very last kilometre. Loeb has already set about chasing down the leader. With the worst of the loose gravel now cleared from the surface, it's a bit more of an even playing field in the afternoon loop. And the world champion isn't taking as much time from Ogier. He's actually 6 seconds slower than his compatriot in stage 11, the stage he comfortably beat Ogier on in the morning loop. The fans are enjoying the action in the Algarve sunshine, and they've been joined by Ken Block, who's been unable to restart due to a damaged roll cage after his first day accident. The American will certainly be intent on picking up some tips by watching the world's best rally drivers in action.
Didn't expect to see Seb go wide there. Pushing.
He might be pushing, but tyre wear is again becoming an issue for many this afternoon. Loeb's controlling his pace to maintain his rubber, but still takes 5.8 seconds out of Ogier in stage 12. Is this the beginning of the Loeb fight back? He's still a long way from the 11 seconds he made up on the run through here in the morning loop, though. Danny Sordo has totally destroyed his tyres by pushing too hard, and the Spaniard is left to struggle through the final kilometres of day 2 and slips down to 4th.
The tire in front is completely destroyed, as you can see if you want this. I feel the car is really bad, and I don't know, it's completely destroyed,
So Sordo's problems have provided Petter Solberg with a relatively smooth run into the podium positions. He's not been able to match the pace of the leading pair of Citroens, but still looks in control over Portugal's dangerous crests, and will be reasonably satisfied to be in 3rd position going into the final day. Kimi Raikkonen's World Rally education has continued on Portugal's challenging roads.
Huomio pitkä oikein, yksi tosi tiukka ja ahdas puu ulkona.
There have still been a couple of moments for the 2007 Formula One champ again today, though.
Missä ne lukko tuosta diplokkipalkkaa?
A nearby spectator caught that slide into the undergrowth. Kimi relieved he's still in a comfortable 9th position. Well, Citroën have advised their drivers not to take excessive risks, but Loeb knows he has a fight on his hands for this victory. And the championship leader is responding to the challenge with typical power and precision. He can only make up another 2 seconds on Ogier, though, in the final stage of day 2. That's just 1.8 made up on the morning loop. And that leaves rally leader Sebastian Ogier with an advantage of just over 21 seconds. He's in the box seat for his first win with just the 90 kilometres of day 3 remaining. It will be a nerve-wracking final day for the Frenchman. Mikko Hirvonen, meanwhile, close to just 8.2 seconds behind Sordo going into the final overnight break, while the Spaniard is now 13.5 behind Petter Solberg. Up front, though, the big question is, will 21 seconds be enough for Ogier to hold off the great Sebastian Loeb for his first ever victory? And the crowds are out in force for the end of day press conference.
And my objective is to get the boss championship, drivers and manufacturers. So tomorrow they will be able to drive, but it will be forbidden to go out of the road. So I don't want to see what happened in New Zealand. So I agree them to drive, but if one of them went off of the road, I will be really upset, and when I am upset, it's no good.
It's a good strategy to stay on the road, I think, but not easy. Yeah, I think it will be hard to stay on the lead for sure. 20 seconds is never enough when you are Seb behind you. But I will try to continue like this, and if we do the same day as today, it's possible.
The Portuguese fans have certainly appreciated the WRC stars' efforts on what's been a bruising second day. We've already had one high-profile casualty with Jari-Matti Latvala's Portugal jinx continuing. But there's plenty more to come though. Ogier's bid for a first ever win is coming up after the break. A beautiful morning on the Algarve, and with only 21 seconds between the top two, we're all set for an enthralling fight to the finish on this final day.
Interesting day today.
And it's nervous moments for Sébastien Ogier. So close, but yet so far to that first ever WRC win. And this is what lies in store for him today. Day 3 is made up of 5 stages, beginning with the 21 kilometres of Felice, now famous as the test that Jari-Matti Latvala will never forget after his spectacular accident in 2009. 15 and 17 is the 22.5 kilometres of Lulé, and then it's back to the Algarve Stadium for another blast around the Super Special. It's another day of destiny then for Ogier for the second successive rally. He begins the final day with a real shot at claiming his first ever win. The Citroën driver has it all to do though. He's starting with a lead of just over 21 seconds, and again as the first car on the road he'll be facing a slightly more slippery surface than his hero and compatriot Sébastien Loeb. So can the championship leader build a late charge to make a last-ditch bid for his third successive Portugal victory? The Citroën team will be watching nervously. They will not want a repeat of the final morning mayhem we saw in New Zealand. Ogier is fast approaching the finish of stage 14. We can get an update on the leading pair's progress so far with Virtual Spectator as they approach the 17.9 kilometre split time. There's Ogier, but Loeb is well ahead of his compatriot. .9 seconds up already with just the last few kilometres to run. And Loeb is pushing on to the finish. He's going to take a big bite out of Ogier's lead here. 6.2 seconds quicker. The leader's advantage is slashed to 14.9. Danny Sordo is doing his best to ensure this will be a terrific day for Citroën. The Spaniard is still in the mix for the podium places. He started the day 13.5 seconds behind the third place of Petter Solberg. The Norwegian, though, has got handling problems this morning. A loose steering bolt has hit him at the worst possible time. He's struggling to keep up the pace, and his hopes of holding on to third are fading. It's all the invitation Sordo needs, and Petter slips back to fourth in stage 15. This early start has made for a challenging opening stage. Mikko Hirvonen's having real visibility problems with the low sunlight here. At this stage of the season, he needs to be finishing on the podium. Mikko's still in fifth after stage 15, but just 8.7 seconds behind Sordo.
I'll try as hard as I can, for sure. I want to get on the podium, so we'll see.
Back at the front, meanwhile, Ogier's desperately hanging on. The 22.5 kilometre Lulé stage, Sébastien searching for the balance between speed and caution. Back with Loeb as this fascinating fight between these two French stars continues. The world champion should be quicker again with his slightly superior grip, but how much time can he make up? Another 4.8 seconds gained there. Seb edges closer to his namesake. The gap between first and second now just over 10. With just 3 stages remaining, we're set for another down-to-the-wire finish, while the fight for third is still very much alive. Petter Solberg's problems have seen him slip to fourth, but there's still just 7.7 seconds between the 3 men fighting for the final podium spot. So to the final pair of stages before the Super Special finale, and Ogier's just under 45 kilometres away from claiming his first victory. Well, after his late nightmare in New Zealand, this would be the perfect response. That feeling of disappointment will still be fresh. He must be nervous and begins with an advantage of just 10.1 seconds. Well, Loeb's facing another tough fight for a win. He's already halved the gap to the leader in the opening 2 stages. But as we saw on day 2, on a swept road and with the abrasive surface tough on tyres, this is going to be a difficult task to push on the second loop. The world champion approaching the end of stage 16. There's not much in this. He's faster, but only 0.6 of a second made up. And this is certainly going to be a big ask for Loeb now. There's also still a fight for third to be resolved this afternoon. After his steering rack problems in the opening loop, Petter Solberg's in 4th, but just 2.2 seconds behind the podium places. The Norwegian will need to be right on the limit to catch up. Fired up Dani Sordo. We heard earlier in the programme how the 4 drivers have been working on their form this season, but it's been another frustrating weekend in Portugal. Latvala's out and Hirvonen has again failed to match the Citroen's pace. Mikko is quickest of the 3 men fighting for third in stage 16 though. It's still Dani Sordo who holds third spot as the crews head into the penultimate stage. And Dani cements his hold on the position. He beats Hirvonen comfortably and holds an advantage of almost 5 seconds with just the 2-kilometre super special stage to come. So just one last push from Ogier is needed. He's one of the least experienced drivers in the field, but if he can learn from his New Zealand mistakes and make it through this final regular stage, this could be a landmark day in the Frenchman's career. Very few drivers have managed to beat the all-conquering Sébastien Loeb in a straight fight. The world champion is giving it everything here to make one last dent into Ogier's advantage.
Ciel pour gauche 110 plus, ouvre et ferme 100.
Again he beats him, but 1.8 seconds is too little too late. His facial expression says it all.
In the second pass through he was untouchable sometimes, so it's like that. I have a new rival now.
So 7.7 seconds separate the top 2 going into the 2-kilometre super special stage in front of thousands of fans packed into the Algarve Stadium. Petter Solberg comes into the super special 4.6 seconds behind third place, and that's a late off for Solberg, a bizarre mistake from Petter. It's not only ended his hopes of third, it's also cost him 4th place, with Mikko Hirvonen snatching the position. A reminder, it's not over till it's over then, and back to the fight at the front. A real treat for the thousands of fans in the Algarve sunshine here. A head-to-head fight between the 2 Sebastians. Loeb will give it everything through this tight 2-kilometre circuit. 2 Frenchmen, 2 Citroën C4s. It's a dream finale for the French teams. But there's no sign of a mistake from Loeb's young compatriot yet. Ogier looking neat and tidy with 7.7 seconds in hand. He should be safe here.
60 mètres arrivée.
That's the last corner, yes! After just 18 starts in a World Rally car, Ogier becomes one of the most inexperienced drivers to claim a WRC victory. Ogier and co-driver Julien Ingrassia absolutely ecstatic.
Perfect feeling. It was a amazing weekend. We pushed from the first stage until now, all the weekend. It was a big battle. Very hard to conserve Seb behind us, and to win my first rally like this with a big battle with Seb is perfect.
And it is Sébastien Loeb, the first to congratulate his namesake and compatriot. We'll see more battles between these two, I'm sure. So this is the final result. There is a Sébastien at the top of the leaderboard, but this time it's Ogier. The final winning margin, just 7.9 seconds. A first podium finish of the season for Dani Sordo, but it's a lockout of Citroëns at the top. Hirvonen, the best of the Fords, in 4th. Ogier's boss is more than happy.
It was just a perfect weekend for the team, especially for him. I think he really
It was unbelievable all the weekend. Since the shakedown, best time of shakedown, first after the first day, first after the second day, and even today, he resisted under the pressure. And everybody knows how it could be to be first on the road with behind you, Mr. Love.
And it's no wonder Citroën are happy with Ford's poor performance this weekend. There are 2 Citroëns at the top of the Drivers' Championship, with Ogier moving up to second ahead of Hirvonen. Also in the Manufacturers' Championship, Citroën take a 26-point advantage. With Ogier's win, the junior team pull away from the Stobarts. And Sébastien Ogier's weekend just gets better. He also collects the Abu Dhabi Spirit of the Rally Award to mark his first WRC win. We have a break of 5 weeks now before we go to a brand new event, Bulgaria. And for the first time this season, we'll be on tarmac. Check out a preview on WRC.com, where you'll also find our mid-season review, summing up the exciting year so far. An extremely happy Ogier on the podium, surrounded by his team. It's been a fantastic first win for the Frenchman. A wonderful battle to the end, and with 4 different winners already this season, it's shaping up to become a classic year. Join us again in Bulgaria, but for now, from Portugal, it's goodbye.